All right, guys, I know in March, it's not a shocker to see buzzer beaters, but usually we're talking college basketball when we're talking about buzzer beaters. But last night, Matt Boldy pulled off one for the Wild in overtime, and that was fresh off a hat trick, too. So he has two crazy good games, and then he comes on and talks to us. Matt Boldy, the Minnesota Wild, joining us on the Athletic Podcast. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, of course. No worries.
Got to start with the OT goal. How much gas did you have left in the tank? Because, you get the puck your own zone, and it felt like one of those video games where the turbo's almost out, and I'm just sitting there, just make it. If he gets a shot, this thing could go in. How much gas was in the tank for that OT goal?
Yeah, there wasn't much, to be honest. It was kind of just put your head down and go as much as you could. But I wasn't too sure about how much time was left either. So it honestly helped me out. It didn't stress me out too much.
Matt, first of all, as a huge Pats fan, I got to think that you celebrated right in front of Eli Manning yesterday. I don't know if you saw that picture of you celebrating, and right behind you is a very bummed Eli Manning. But I wanted to know, so after the game last night, Mason Shaw was saying that him and Durer and Duhaime were on the bench giving you grief as you were going back on the back check, chasing Jack Hughes, saying to get the piano off your back. Did you actually hear that from the bench, or do you not hear stuff like that?
Not from the bench, but I hear it about every other game from those three. Yeah, they're some of my best friends, so we're definitely not afraid to chirp each other, and that's one that I get quite a bit from those three.
And what was funny is yesterday morning in the when I was talking to you about coming on the podcast at the morning skate, Shaw said to you to make sure to give them credit for all the work that they do for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. No, those guys are great. Like I said, they're some of my best friends, so they make this whole experience and playing in the NHL even more fun. Just having some of your best friends with you.
We've mentioned your 2-game stretch. What's better, hat trick or buzzer beater in overtime?
I'll take either one. I'm not gonna be too picky about it, but I'll take the hat trick before the buzzer beater.
Matt, I've gotten to know your family really well. I've met your stepmom, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your stepbrothers, everything. Your dad is somebody that I've gotten really immense amount of respect for. I mean, he's a police officer that's assigned to the DA. We were in Boston this year, and the next day he had some big bust planned, and he said that's like his game day. What was it like growing up in that type of environment, and how much do you just respect? How big of an influence was that on you growing up?
Yeah, I think it played a big role. Just, obviously my parents raised me and all my siblings with certain values and stuff like that. And I think we definitely were, they weren't too strict, but they definitely kept us tight and held us to being good people. And I think just stuff like that, I think it played a big role. Respect, learning ways to be a good person, stuff like that. But definitely just the right way to live life, and definitely to stay away from drugs in terms of my dad and what he does. So it's you kind of learn the crazy part of life that some people go through, stuff like that, and it's an interesting way. But yeah, it definitely played a big role.
Speaking of being a good person, I was reading Russo's piece, and it was brought up that your 20th goal cashed in a nice little bonus for you. And Ryan Reeves says, "Well, I guess we got a team dinner coming soon." Did the check magically appear at your hands when a team dinner happened after cashing in that nice little $212,000 bonus?
Not yet, but I'm sure they're gonna try. Yeah, it's all fun though. I mean, those guys are the reason that bonuses like that happen. I mean, I'm not out there doing it by myself. Guys are helping me and making plays and making it really easy for me. So the more you give back to your teammates, the better off you are.
Matt, I was talking to Jack Hughes yesterday morning about you, and obviously he had a ton of incredible stuff to say about you, about your time, in Ann Arbor, playing internationally, putting on the USA jersey and things like that. And you look at those rosters of those teams. I mean, you know, the Caulfields and the Zegerases and obviously Hughes and all that. What was that whole experience like, kind of growing up in that program with such incredible players? And how much does that, you know, how much did it drive you then to keep up with them? But how much does it also, even at this point, to see all of you guys succeeding in the NHL? Is there that competition?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think we had 8 first rounders, so it was just exciting. I mean, going to the rink every day, I think that program was the best thing that ever happened for me. Just the person I am and how competitive I am, being able to go there and be with those guys and see it firsthand and compete with them every day was something that played a big role in just me and how I approached hockey and kind of figured everything out.
You think being around all those guys kind of pushed you all?
Yeah, for sure. I think you go to practice every day. We were practicing for an hour and a half every day, and staying on the ice with those guys, just talking to each other. I mean, not only are you playing hockey with these guys, you're with them 24/7, so they're some of your best friends. So, I mean, you learn a lot from each other. You learn different ways to play. I mean, you look at all those guys you just mentioned, and everyone plays a different way, but I think we're able to kind of help each other out and talk to each other about certain things that we're all able to kind of pick up new stuff and stuff like that.
Along those lines with Kaprizov, I got to ask you, obviously with an injury now, but he just strikes me as someone who would blow your mind almost more in practice, watching him just try new things, because the things he does in a game make fans jump out of their seats. But what's he like just watching in practice, even just warming up in practice? Does he do things that blow your mind every day?
He definitely has the ability to. I mean, you give him a lot of credit. I mean, for as big of a superstar he is and how good he is, he plays the hard way. He doesn't do it easy. He doesn't play only skilled. He plays so hard and competes and wins battles and uses his body and stuff like that, which you don't see too much. But I think just that aspect of it, I think, impresses all of us so much, just because he has all the skill in the world, and that's honestly his last resort when it comes to making plays on the ice. He wants to play the hard way. He wants to forecheck and hit guys and kind of get into spaces to score goals. But like I said, it's not the soft and perimeter and cute way. It's the hard way, and he does a pretty good job of it, obviously.
Matt, you guys are 4-1-1 without Kiril, and I think that you know as well as anybody. I think a lot of times when an injury happens to somebody that impactful on a team, I think there's doom and gloom anytime, but especially in Minnesota, where you know, fans and media sometimes can really, you know, just almost have this fatalist attitude. What happened? You know, is it like what happened inside that room that allowed you guys to all of a sudden come together and continue playing as well as that you were before he went out? Because you were on fire before, you've been on fire since. And especially you in particular stepping up with 6 goals and 10 points in the 6 games that he's been out.
Yeah, not much changed, to be honest. I think, I mean, it's no secret that he's our best player. And when guys like that go down, it sucks and it's a little bit deflating and you don't really know what to expect. And yeah, it could have gone the other way. We could have lost all these games and felt sorry for ourselves and stuff like that. But we didn't, I think, and that speaks a lot to just kind of the group we have. But yeah, you're not going to change it. You're not going to go back in time and change the play where he gets hurt. So the quicker that you're able to kind of process that and realize that he's out and we need to keep winning games to get into playoffs and get a good seed and stuff like that, the better off we're going to be. So I think we processed it quick and in a good way in terms of that we weren't going to feel sorry for ourselves or like we weren't going to be a good team because he wasn't playing. But obviously we want him back in our lineup. He's unbelievable. And I mean, you guys see it every night, just like us.
Matt, also similarly, you know, you guys really stumbled out of the All-Star break and you had a bad loss against the Vegas Golden Knights at home. And we wrote a story the other day where Marcus Foligno and a couple guys were really honest in the fact that you had a real frank team meeting after that game. Billy said some stuff. Dean said some stuff. The leaders on the team said some stuff. And yet now you're 13-1-3 since then. without sharing the inside details of what happens in a meeting like that, as a youngster, you as a hockey fan growing up, you always hear about these closed doors team meetings and things like that. What is it like for a young guy to be part of that? And what was the overall message in that meeting that really helped you guys get to the point where you have been on such a tear?
Yeah, I think just honestly relaxed. I think at that point, things weren't going our way. We lost a couple in a row, and we weren't playing our style. We weren't playing how we play, smart, defensive, and going from there, we were kind of just all over the place. So I think the more that we were able to kind of settle down and relax and play our own game and play how we know how to play, rather than trying to keep up with these teams that run and gun and want to score 6 or 7 goals a night. It's kind of just stuff like that. And I think obviously it hit pretty well with our group, and I think that's a good thing. I wouldn't say that we have a crazy amount of meetings or anything like that, or guys yelling at each other left and right, but it's when people speak up, people listen, and obviously that goes a long way when you only hear it a couple times rather than it being harped on over and over and over again, which is obviously a pretty nice thing as a player.
On a lighter note, I'd like to ask you, so I covered Marc-Andre Fleury quite a bit here in Vegas, and I always love asking guys how he's pranked them, and I know he loves picking on the young players, so I'm wondering if he's got you, if you've got a good Flower prank story for us.
I haven't gotten pranked by Flower, but
I've heard differently, actually.
Wow.
Why?
I heard maybe you don't know it was him, but I heard that he got you in Montreal last season with like a shaving cream towel.
He got me shaving cream towel. Yeah, he did get me with that actually, but that wasn't too bad. He got like 5 guys that day with a shaving cream towel. He did get me there. I forgot about that, but
what exactly happened?
So all the towels are like folded up in our shower, and basically he opened a few of them up and then shaving cream all in them in the white towel, so you can't really see it. You just grab it and start drying yourself off, but it's got shaving cream in it, so you get shaving cream all over yourself. But I think the best one I've seen, and I don't know for sure if this was him, but I would assume it was right after the trade deadline last year where he came to our team. He got Duhaim's car with the packing peanuts, just filled it all the way to the top during one of our games, and I thought that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's the one thing Jonathan Marchessault will say. The thing that makes it tough with Flower is that he will deny it till he dies, like poker face, everything. But the Flower told me the shaving cream one in Montreal, and I don't know if it was you or Goligoski that got it first, but either it was you, Matt, or Goose that put the shaving cream on it, and the other one was laughing hysterically, and then they grabbed the towel and did the exact same thing. So,
yeah, I was the one laughing and then did the same thing. So, yeah, it blends in pretty good. You don't notice, I guess.
Yeah.
Does no one ever get Flower back? That's what I always wonder. I see all the pranks for, Marc-Andre Fleury did this, Marc-Andre Fleury did that. Get him back.
Yeah. There was who's it on Ottawa? Is it Nick Holden, Matt, this year? Like Flower during the morning skate went into their changing room and painted his dress shoes like green and red. So
yeah, that's the thing. You get Flower back, and then if he finds out it's you, he comes back at you again twice as hard. So that's the tough part.
So there's fear of him. You don't want to put the target on your back.
For me, yeah, 100%.
Just keep doing what you're doing, and maybe he'll leave you alone. He's like, I can't mess with this guy. He's buzzer beating us, and he's in hat tricks. I can't mess with him.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to cut into your sticks or anything like that. Hey Matt, just lastly, obviously last a couple months ago you signed the big 7-year, $49 million extension, and I think a lot of us thought that you were going to go bridge deal, and the team would go bridge deal, but what made you want to commit long term to the Wild, and just how excited are you about the future? Not just long term, but really the prospect of this season, where you guys just look right now you're playing your best hockey at the best time of year.
Yeah, for me there wasn't really a question when it was offered that the long-term deal, it was pretty automatic for me. I think I absolutely love it in Minnesota, to be honest with you. And I think just the management, the staff, everything that we have going, it's the best case scenario, honestly, and I absolutely love it. And they've been so good to me, along with just my teammates and in the locker room that we have, and kind of what Billy's created here with everyone else, and kind of the character that everyone in this organization kind of has. It was pretty easy to want to be here for a long period of time. And like I said, when that was on the table, that was definitely what I wanted to do.
And of course, you love the beat writers, so.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the only thing he was wavering on. You're like, should I sign this deal? I gotta see Russo every day. Are you kidding me? 7 more years of Russo. Yeah, well, we Jesse and I can sympathize. Matt, thanks so much. Really appreciate you coming on. Keep up the crazy run you're on, and we'll get you on next time too. So next time we book you as a guest, you'll have to do the exact same thing, so you come in red hot. Thanks so much for doing this.
All right, perfect. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Have a safe train ride.
Yeah, have a good one.